This is a Frank podcast.
This Warriors Life Podcast 2026, episode 28. Will Evans and Brad Larkin with you for another Teamless Tuesday. Fonz on the way, just trying to close out a meeting, and he'll be joining us. Brought to you by Kingz Container Crew. As always, our favourite container crew outfit on the planet. They should be yours as well. Why would you go anywhere else, Brad? It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. We've been banging on about them for years now.
I know. If you don't get it by now, I mean, yeah. But
Jeez whiz.
if you haven't heard about them, head to kingscontainercrew.com for all your container packing and unpacking solutions, and the Work With Us tab if you want to jump on those guys' team. Looking forward to seeing those boys this weekend, actually, down Ōtautahi. And both you too, Brad. I hope so. That's the plan.
Because I've only met Tom.
Yeah. Well, you're in for a treat then.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. No, it is going to be awesome to catch up with the lads. Enjoyed Tom's company last time we were in Christchurch, and it is reunion time this weekend, isn't it?
Well, they're great fellas. And speaking of sponsors and catching up with them this week, PlaceMakers, they're experts in the trade, the best trade range in New Zealand since 1981. And just a great New Zealand company. And they're going to be taking us along to the PlaceMakers Legends lunch on Friday at One New Zealand Stadium. So we'll get a bit of a taste of what it's all about under the roof there in Central City for the afternoon. Gordon Tallis, Kevin Walters, a few Warriors greats, and should be a fantastic afternoon. I feeling a bit spoiled, actually, Brad. Can you go along to that?
Yeah, and that, you know what, that's the first time I've realised it was at that stadium. I thought we were just going to a workman's club type setup somewhere. So I didn't realise it was at one stadium. So we do get a little preview, get eyes on the joint before the game on Sunday. Oh, that's great news. Yeah. Let's put a little pep in my step again. This is going to be a great weekend coming up. We're watching the Hounds. Where are the Hounds? Are they at Hornby?
Out at Hornby, Leslie Park.
Now, Leslie Park, and go see the Hounds go around. Is that both teams, both grades?
It'll be the Canterbury Cup at 1 p.m, 2:45 for the men's premiership. So, yeah, exciting times, Brad. Plenty of your old cronies, maybe a few rallies.
My cronies' kids more these days than anything. It's like, whose kid's that? Yeah, you've got to an age where all their boys are playing. But I'm looking forward. This is going to be a cool weekend up in Christchurch. Got a couple of days to ourselves a little bit, don't we? And then the whānau arrives on the Sunday. So it's going to be a good one.
We'll be down at Canterbury Park on for the junior footy on Saturday morning. I'm dragging you along for some Canterbury Rugby League.
Are we going to some junior footy too?
Yeah, the Warriors are getting along there, and I think the NZRL have got the World Cups there. It's all happening. It's the biggest weekend in Canterbury rugby league wise for some time.
I need to get a couple of good nights sleep, don't I? This sounds like a big one for the old boy. Shit, I'm going to be busy.
Have you checked out that flight information yet, Brad?
No.
Got all sorted?
I haven't. I have to search that and work out what time I'm arriving. But yeah, other than that, that's by the by, isn't it? I'll arrive when they tell me to arrive. You said around 9:30, so delete an hour. I'm picking it's around 8:30. So I need to be out there around 8. I'll confirm Thursday night at about 9.
Yeah, sweet. Sounds good. We'll bring the third member of the throuple in, talk about Saturday's loss. Here he is.
Oh yeah, that's right. We've got a Warriors team to talk about.
How are we, boys?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, good. Kicking along.
Good evening, Fonzie.
Yeah, hey, mate. Having a busy old Tuesday here. So, yeah, it's good to be breaking out and having a chat about footy. I'm getting jealous here listening to you guys talk about Sunday. It sounds all right.
It sounds like you've hidden in the janitor's closet.
Does it?
Busy. I could imagine you though, just with the laptop on your lap in a closet somewhere, just hiding away from everyone wanting a piece of you.
Something like that. So, what do you reckon of the Sharkies? How'd you make of that game?
Yeah,
I,
tough one. It was. I found it a bit frustrating upon reflection, but it was good grinding arm wrestle. Just I'm not quite sure what to make of it. Felt maybe like we're a tad rudderless. Just obviously beaten in the clutch, and that was the difference. The Kennedy's and Trindle's moments, and we didn't quite ice ours. Certainly not catastrophic, and we had quite a few out, but I thought it told a bit more than it has in previous games.
I thought there was a lack of composure in certain elements of that game. One big thing I will defend them. I think that AKP injury that hurt our bench rotation. So all of a sudden, our bench was Chance, Taufua, and then the two big boys. So I think that did hurt. But yeah, it was. I was initially when the whistle had blown at the end, I was filthy on it, calling it a bludger. And then a couple of texts from certain people and just, yarning to mates and that. I soon come around to it was a great defensive effort, but neither team really looked like scoring.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I did. I was a bit the same, Brad. I got at the end of the game, I thought that was a bit of a bludger. I mean, it was, you take Fish, Barney, Capes, and Halasima out of your pack, and good as the subs are for where they're at in their career, that's going to hit you, and it did. I mean, I think there's no doubt that the Sharks middle was on top of ours, particularly in that first half, and particularly in the first part of the first half. I mean, would we agree with that?
Yeah,
Definitely.
I feel like their line speed was better, and then you compound that with the fact that there's no one with quite that long kicking game to kick us out of trouble, which we've talked about before as an obvious weakness of our current halves. And it doesn't matter as much if your middles are on top and you're kicking from your 50, but it does matter if you're getting turned around a bit and you're struggling a bit. And because they were catching the ball on their 30, their fullback was catching the ball on the 30 and coming back at us too often. So there was that, which meant that we weren't playing that sort of field position game. I thought, but for the Sharks dropping a lot of good ball, like they dropped the ball in good positions several times in that first half, and but for that, we could have been in a lot more trouble than we were. And so they sort of helped us out. I don't think they were amazing either. And then, but the reality was that, as you said, our goal line defense was excellent and our defense overall was really very good, right? The system held. Everyone made their tackles. We just, looked a bit rudderless, like you said, probably lacked a little bit of strike down their end. I don't think we ever got enough fatigue into them to where you could just pretty much score by falling over the line like we sometimes do. No. We just get teams that fatigue that we score by falling over the line. And then when it came to that last 10 minutes, neither team really set up for their field goals well. I don't think either team really organised those last passages of play very well. And, it ended up being them jagging one, whereas we couldn't execute ours. And there it is.
Yeah. The average set distances were very low for both teams, low 30s. So, that difference in kicking game was exaggerated. And it felt like we were barely ever sort of pinning them down their end. And we didn't get many chances, I didn't think. Obviously Tamati got that solo try, but there wasn't really a lot of opportunities. And as you say, our goal line defense was pretty good. We repelled them pretty well. Only a sort of bit of a not a fluky try, but coming from a bad offload from Dallin, they got the ball back, swung it wide almost straight away, and just had a stress for numbers. We couldn't scramble. So defensively, I think there's a lot to take out of the game. But there's something a little flat about it, and a lot of enterprise from our guys. It was probably one for the purists and good low scoreline, but missed opportunity too. Tamati obviously should have probably done a bit better with that field goal opportunity. Sensational charge down from Kennedy, and then just out of the box 2-point field goal from Trindle to win it. Had our chance at the end. Pompey with a pretty tough penalty kick to send it into Golden Point, but just slid wide, unfortunately. I will talk a little bit about the game day experience. I got up to Mount Smart for that one. So good. Pretty much sell-out crowd again. Great atmosphere. Got along to New Zealand Rugby League Museum before kickoff, which was very cool, just on Beasley Ave, just up from the stadium. Met Gordon Gibbons, who does an unbelievable job with what is an amazing museum underneath New Zealand Rugby League there. Get to it if you ever get the opportunity. So much stuff there. And Sam Ackerman from Sport Nation, we had him on a few weeks ago, even to be there recording a bit of a pre-game show. So very cool to catch him in the flesh. And then another bonus, Henry Farfilly, Warriors great, just cruising around in there with some family. So, got to say good day to him too. Very, very cool. And another highlight, Lily World, always a good time, pumping in there and hung out with this Warriors lifer. So, he's a good cat already. Hayden Ward from the Hawke's Bay, him and his lovely family, they got season tickets. So they come up from the Bay every home game this season. And had a good catch up with him. Very nice sort of family. His wee kid is a future Wade Egan. So if you see a number 9 with the name Ward come through, you heard it here first. It's a very likely looking dummy half of the future. It was great. Just not quite the result, but Mount Smart knows how to do it.
All the way from Hawke's Bay. That's a hell of a hike, isn't it? That is commitment.
Yeah, I think it's
especially with this war. Ever since the war, they still doing it.
I meant to ask if he was rolling with an EV, but and it's a stay the night thing. You don't drive up on game day and drive home after full time. But
back to that the actual game at hand itself. Fonz, you've said a couple of times about Chance being the best fullback for certain situations. Was this pack in the weekend? Was that a Chance more fullback? Because when he come on at halftime, you noticed a bit more go forward from the back three, and all of a sudden, I don't mind him as a wing option for that.
Oh, look. I am answering you, Brad. Well, how wet was it there? Because on TV here, it dead set looked like it was hailing. Like, was it that heavy or no?
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was raining at all.
And also, were we playing into the wind both halves? It looked like we were playing into the wind both halves. Will, was there a game?
No, I think it was a pretty still night.
Dewy?
The picks made it look like we were. Yeah, a little bit dewy, as you predicted, Brad. Wee bit dewy because it was chilly. But no, otherwise fairly, for midwinter in Auckland, it was pretty good conditions.
As good as it gets, Okay.
So to your question, Brad, I mean, look, if it's sort of a slightly greasy, wet, dour game, I'd rather have Chance doing my third or fourth carry coming out of yardage than Tane, But I mean, he didn't drop. I don't remember him dropping one bomb.
He's magic.
No,
but
great.
what I'm thinking is Chan's best bet and maybe an option for a wing because AKP will get manhandled a little bit in the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I don't think he's in any of the games where he's played centre or wing. I don't think he's looked quite right. So I'm a bit. I think he's probably in the category of break glass in emergency only on the wing and in the centres. I mean, the question that's going to be asked is going to be how many more results like that before we start seeing Metcalf should come up. And if he comes up, is he at 6 or at 7? Presumably at 7. I didn't watch Cup. I don't know if you got there early enough to watch Cup, Will, when you're live there. No. So I don't know how he went.
I watched Cup. I watched the first half of Cup, and his short kicking game was incredible. Anything from sort of 55 out inside that, it was incredible. Just exactly where you want it to be. With the ball in hand, Jet's still doing a lot of the main handling, it looked to me in that half anyway. But his kicking game looked incredible. If he can get his running game, he's going to start coming in. But me and Will were talking about this in the weekend. It's like, well, all of a sudden with the way Martin is good for 4 points for a heads-up play every game at the moment, is CHT the one that's sort of Metcalf might be slipping in for if it ever happens?
Yeah. It's only really Martin's, lack of length in his kicking game that you could pull him up for, because otherwise he's been great. He's scored 4 tries in 4 games, 4 try assists as well.
Great defender,
tackling the house down. He's been outstanding. It's just that he doesn't have that length on his kit. And has Metcalf been? Does he offer enough to make up for that? And the areas where he's not quite up to Martin's standard defensively, I would say they're probably about even. Maybe Martin has a slight advantage inside the 20. It's a real tough one. It doesn't exactly scream out, I've got to be there for Metcalf, but that kicking game is, and it's not the longest kicking game from Metcalf either. It's maybe 5 to 10 longer. I'm not sure.
He tends to get off height,
real
but he seems to hang it. Seems to hang it longer. Martin's, it might be the same distance, but it's not traveling the same distance. You know what I mean?
It's low and
Metcalf can adjust it, so defense are on them. Yeah, but two centers in that cup game, Fonz, Linane and Berry got a real sharp try early doors in that game, and Jai Linane, if you haven't seen it, watch his try. Wow! So we'll probably end up talking centers tonight at some stage.
He's getting a bit of noise around Jai Linane. I was just going to say on that Metcalf, scenario, I think until he's convinced everyone that his defense is really sound in cup, you just don't bring him up short kick, long kick, or anything else until because he was horrible in defense in those 2 games he played, and I want to be absolutely confident he's going to hold up his end in D before you brought him up. I would say, Will, it might not just be the long kick, though. There might be, this is the sort of game where last year, if you had 20-25 Metcalf, he was winning us this game in the clutch last year.
That's a good point. And that's something that Eastland Plumbing Gas Fitting, 9687, is mentioned right here. He kicked that field goal, I think it was against the Dragons, and he was clutch, and he kicked that 50-metre penalty in Golden Point against the Broncos, despite having a pretty awful goal kicking percentage overall. He does step up in those moments, and that is something I thought of after that game. He does like those moments, even if he might drift in and out of games a bit. So I think Kurt Frequency has summed it up fairly well from my point of view. Robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're not quite getting everything you want from any of these options. So I don't know what you do, and until Martin plays poorly, which he definitely hasn't. He's had 4,
he hasn't.
I would say good games. It's hard to axe him, or Chanel, on the basis of what he's produced across the season. Although I think he has been a bit quiet for me, Chanel, since losing Boyd. Interestingly, I thought he might sort of step up and play more of a role, but he's been a tad quiet.
There's a couple of things there too. The first thing is, I don't know if you watched many of the other games over the weekend, but the way this game was reffed was different. This was more like past years. The way this game was reffed, this was nothing like that super quick ruck and 6 against 6 again from the. So, do we think that was just a one-off weird interpretation, or do we think the game's moving is it sometimes does through the Origin period to be ref more like Origin, and we're moving that way? Because I don't think that suits us either. That kind of slower ruck interpretation and faster, smaller 10. Let's say that.
Yeah, definitely a skinny 10. There's comments in here about the Sharks getting away with plenty. I think there's only 4 set restarts across the whole game. That must be one of the lowest tallies, and it did feel like a kind of a slow, grinding game. Not that bothered me, but compared to how it's been reffed all season and what we've been able to take advantage of, it didn't do us too many favors.
Yeah. Who's going to broach the subject of the dropout first? Do we?
Well, I'm going to bring it up as no ugly salty moment of the week.
Yeah. Nice.
So yeah, bring it in. Oh, and obviously we've got the giveaway as well. So send in your no ugly salty moment. No ugly salty is an isotonic drink for all your rehydrating needs. Great for after a workout or if you're digging piles like Brad. Yeah, great tasting, low sugar, 500 mils of it. What do you call it? A silo last week, Brad?
Silo. That's a silo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here it is. I got one here. Crack it open. Get rehydrated. So good. And we've got a case to send out to lucky listener. If you send in, you'll know ugly, salty moment of the week. But yeah, so obviously a fair bit of controversy. The saltiness came from Andrew Webster in the press conference, and it was pretty. It was felt a little out of character, and that's why I'm a little salty about it. It was 0-0 after 17 minutes. As it turns out, it kind of looks like it's more the Warriors' fault as far as the, putting an ad over the screen. It's not really the referee's job to babysit the dropout kicker for, count him down from 30 to 1. He gave him the 10-second warning. If you need another update between 10 seconds and 0, you probably got more problems than doing a dropout. So, and again, you've got 63 minutes to rectify that 2-point snafu. So I thought the press conference blow up was way over the top, and turns out that they're probably in the wrong more than they were in the right. So yeah, I mean, it was a cock up all round, but I think the Warriors, just kick it. Just kick it, man.
And the whole thing's on us.
And sorry, just lastly, Fonz, they got pinged because they couldn't pack a scrum in 30 seconds as well. So that kind of blows that out of the water. Like, it was so hard done by. We're usually right on time, but if you can't pack it, you barely see those blowing up, the scrums, and they did that in the same half of football. So I think maybe they just need to get their shit together a bit more.
Yeah, the whole point of this 30-second rule wasn't so people could wait till the 29th second to kick. It was exactly. So people would just get on with kicking the effing ball. Like, so if you have been given your 10-second warning and you're holding a ball and you've got your breath back to the point where you can say, "Hey ref, I can't see the screen. How many seconds have I go?" How about just kick the ball? Like,
it was 10 seconds before, but I'm going to ask again now. Oh, dear. Just get on with it. I reckon he was just scared shitless to do another dropout. He had a horrendous night on the dropouts. God,
they were butchering them all.
Just kick it long then if you can't do it short.
It just misses the whole point. It's almost like he thought the rule was you can't kick it before the 28th or after the 30. You know what I mean? Like,
you've got to go between 27 and 30.
Yeah.
I will say as well, Jesus Christ, that buzzer is so loud when you're at the ground. Just about shit myself.
You wonder what's going on. Tsunami warning.
Yeah, I thought it was some sort of alert, but there we go. No ugly salty moment of the week. Send yours in, and the case could be on its way to you.
I think that's the best yet. That was real salty from all three of us, and an agreement to just get on with the game of footy.
Good times. What else have we got, boys? Let's look at some positives. We've only really talked about the negatives. I thought and looking at the Kingz Container Crew Warriors player ratings, Tanner Stow-Smith, really good stepping in for James Fisher-Harris in the starting role. Tane had, I thought, in a tough game, was really good, really safe. Tamati obviously had his moments, but probably the story, Wade Egan, very, very good. It was really good to see his running game get a bit more airtime there, and his replacement. Only 16 minutes of it, but boy, didn't Linwood Care's product, Makaya Tafua, catch some eyes with his brutal defensive game. But also, I thought he was really slick out of dummy half. I really think he's putting the heat on Sam Healy. I know it's only 16 minutes, but he's the one that's been playing big minutes in New South Wales Cup. Healy, it just hasn't had that much footy because he's only getting 15 to 20 a week, and Tafua is showing the I guess it's the results of playing big minutes every week. Took his opportunity at NRL level and really looks like a first grader.
Jeez, he's got a shoulder on him. Wow, that kid can hit.
Love that.
Just got the technique. Hey, I don't know. You both played. Remember when we were young fellas, and there was that tiny, scrawny kid that got around any league competition or rugby competition that just used to know how to cut people in half, and the math didn't math. This Makai Tafua, he's one of those. Jeez, he knows where to hit. That was incredible. What was it? 16 minutes, 12 tackles in 16 minutes.
Yeah, and all of them made an impression. It seemed like, but and just great seeing a kid David come down this way as well.
An impression in his hip, an impression in his ribs. What do you think, Fonz?
Oh yeah, no, he exceeded expectations for me. I thought he was great. He looked good. Looked like just an out and out hooker. The only thing just more to say something where there's improvement is his hits were good. Like he hits hard, he doesn't miss. But I think in the middle, it's your first. He made first contact a lot, and when you make first contact, you're more supposed to sort of hold him up in a cage. Whereas he's a bit more like that old school footy player who just wants to chop their hips. So there might be over time, if he's defending in the middle, there might be a bit of an issue there where he's not making the right kind of first contact on middles. He's more making a one-out tackle. So there might be a bit of tackle technique, just for middle defence in NRL that he needs to work on. But no, I liked him. I mean, I'm
picking when he plays 80 minutes for New South Wales Cup, he's not tackling like that he'd probably come out fizzed up 16 minutes just like a dog let off a leash, just at it. Yeah. I think it's good. I still think, hopefully he doesn't put too much pressure on Healy. I think I'd like to have Healy for another year, at least next year. I think 3 good half hookers is what a team needs, and it would suck to lose a Healy. So I don't want those whispers to turn into rumors at all and him get it in his head. I want Healy here for another year at the moment, but that Taufua far out. That was an impact.
Yeah, sister Jadika plays for Cronulla in the NRLW, and a younger brother Evander coming through at Bulldogs as well. So, and Dad John, handy player for Papanui Tigers. So good bloodlines.
I seen him obviously giving his mum and father a hug after the game in the crowd. Jesus, old man looks like he could hit too. He's a big lad. Yeah, he looked scary. The mum looks lovely. Dad looks, Papanui Tigers. Wonder if I played against him.
Yeah. I thought, a few other positives. Eddie, good to see him take his opportunity. Eddie Edemir, Tava, Dimitrik was good off the bench. There was just something about it that felt like we were missing. It did feel like there was no Fish, Barnett, Capewell. It felt like a young team and some, just a team
what
in
exactly
need of
is that?
A bit more impetus.
For someone like me that doesn't know what are we missing with at least not having one of those? Because we've got no Fish till round 19. What are we going to be missing out on?
That's a big blow. Yeah, what do you reckon, Fonz? How big of a blow is that? I mean, the depth is obviously there. Barnett's only played half the games, if that, and we've been fine. But if Barnett comes back without Fish, he's been so good this year in every game he's played. I think. How much are we losing?
Well, look, I mean, we've had stints over the last couple of years where we've had one of Fish or Barnett out for extended periods and managed to hold the end up. I mean, I think what you lose with those sort of experienced players is like they're just that little bit better in knowing how long they can hold a bloke down for, or that little bit better in sort of getting it, like the way the let's call it the wrestle in the tackle, or they get a little bit more of a lock on that slows to play the ball down a little bit, or they're just that little bit better at preempting where the ball's going to be, and they're sort of in that position, knowing who's going to get it, which helps them with line speed and contact and all that. So it's just all those little things. I think like you wouldn't look at Tanner and say like he didn't run as hard or he didn't make his tackles or anything like that. It's just those little things, I think. But,
So
yeah.
they're a tradesman instead of being an apprentice more than anything.
Yeah.
They know all the tricks of the trade. Tanner Smith, he's a year out now, though. He's finished. He's qualified, but he's only a year qualified, so he's still got a lot to learn. But then you've still got the apprentices.
By your
Yeah.
foreman.
I'm just trying to paint the picture so I can understand what's going on. Yeah. So we need at least one of them. Are we playing? We've got to play these State of Origin players this weekend, don't we? You in agreement?
Well, we're just about to see, Brad. Team lists are out, so get them out for you. Here we go. Warriors, Cowboys, 4 p.m. Sunday, New Zealand time at One New Zealand Stadium. Historic clash in Ōtautahi Christchurch. Tane Tuapiki at fullback, Dallin Watene-Zelezniak and Chance Nickel-Clodstad starting on the wings. So that cork to Lofi Pereira, assuming that's a bit worse than initially thought. Ali Leotara and Adam Pompey staying the centres. Chanel Harris-Davida, Tamari Martin in the halves. Tanner Smith, Wade Egan, Jackson Ford, Jacob Laban, Marata Nukore, Aaron Clark's on unchanged pack. Sam Healy returning. That's a tough one, given Makai Tafua playing down in his home city, but Healy recovering from that, I thought it was a fractured hand. Eddie Idemir-Tava, Dimitrik Vaimonga, Kalis Fatialofa hoping for a debut, which that got snatched from his grasp by Lofi's injury last week. Rocco Berry, an interesting name, and number 18, and Luke Metcalf. So it's the return of the fallen idols and on that 6-man bench there. Oh, and that reserves list begs a few more questions. Makai Tafua, Mitch Barnett, Kurt Capewell, 2 Origin boys. They weren't named to play in the squad at all after Origin 1, but Webby's keeping them up his sleeve as potential inclusions for this week. First impressions, so I guess we'll start at the top. Sean's getting a start on the wing. Is he the next best cab off the rank?
I think he is. I don't think the New South Wales Cup, isn't that Hazen Mallars is out injured at the moment as well, who might have been closer. But yeah, I think in terms of what they can see, Okali maybe. Is that his name? Have I got that right?
Yeah, I don't even know if he's in Cup at the moment. Dayon Alma-Tanui. He scored a couple of tries on the weekend, but I guess we are a little short now. There's no Roger, and then this was always going to be the question if we were talking more about another centre injury, but yeah, a wing injury. We hadn't sort of factored that in, just locked in Dallin and Lofi for the rest of the year, and suddenly we've got Chance starting a game on the wing for the first time since 2018 New South Wales Cup. So good carries, but probably lacking a bit of finishing polish, I would imagine.
Yeah. Especially trapped out on the sideline. Yeah. No, I don't know. I probably would have preferred a Pompey shift to a Linane or a Berry straight in. But yeah, that's what we've got. Ford pack is same Ford pack, but that ain't the same as it come game day with those reserves listed there. Barring injury, I think they'll be in there, won't they?
Who you reckon the Origin boys?
Barnett hasn't. How much footy has he actually played? There's no reason for him not to turn up back there on Sunday ready for work, I don't think. With his lunchbox, roll up, the snack.
We said that after Origin 1, but didn't we? And it didn't happen.
Yeah. But there was no option to because they didn't name them last time.
Oh, okay.
They didn't name them in the 23, so there wasn't an option to bring them in late. Obviously Capewell put in a massive shift for Queensland. Barnett, could have backed up, you would have thought. It is a couple of, bit of travel, I suppose. Not major, but coming back from Melbourne and then Auckland to Christchurch. It is a Sunday game again. Yeah, I'd expect, given that we've now got Fish and Lecker both out, that either one or both come in, depending on how Wednesday night pans out.
Yeah,
when are they naming the cup teams? Because
it's usually slightly later.
We want to see Berry and Metcalf get named there.
That game is in Christchurch at Under the Roof there earlier in the afternoon. So intriguing team naming there. I've seen a comment here that reckon that Healy and Tafua might be a late swap. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at that. I don't know why you'd rush Healy back necessarily if he wasn't good to go. So yeah, and I don't know, maybe the romantic in me wants Mackay to get a run in his home city.
Exactly.
Hopefully a debut for Kalis Fatialofa after missing out last time. That would have been the plan, I'm sure, before Loffy's injury. So yeah, there was a bit of a reshuffle last time, wasn't there? Because they did spell Murata and maybe Laban. Did Aaron Clark spend some time on the edge, or maybe Ford? Couldn't get a great read on it at the ground, but that I guess upset the planned interchange and Ford pack reshuffling.
Geez, that just looking at that Cowboys team, that looks like as good as they can throw it as too, isn't it, for them?
Yeah, it looks like they've named their origin players. We'll run through it. Scott Drinkwater at fullback, bit rocks or diamonds, but he's still a match winner. Braden Burns and Murray Talangi. He's in the Queensland squad, but probably won't get a run except for injury. Zach Labert and Tom Chester. They're the kind of centres I like, actually. They're both having good years. Kind of a Jai Linane-ish. Jackson Purdue and Jake Clifford in the halves. Thomas McKaylee, Jason Tamalolo up front, Reid Marnie, Helam Luki, who is I think he's 20th man for Queensland, Jeremiah Nanai, ex-Queensland, Ruben Cotter, he'll probably play big minutes. So, yeah, we'll see how he, for Queensland, we'll see how he backs up after Origin. Interchange of Sonny Luke, Griffin Neame, your West Coast mate there, Brad. You'll get to get a bit close to him this weekend. Matt Lodge, former Warrior. Oh, look out. Cohen Hess, and the other two on the six-man interchange, Liam Sutton, Sam McIntyre. Reserves, John Bateman. I'm certain so much of him this year. Jackson Paulo, Ethan King, Wadamu Greg. Yeah, who was out for them? They've had a few injuries. Looking at you've got Nanai coming.
Bearden's the big
first
one.
game since round 9. Burns returning from injury as well. Yeah. Bateman in the reserves for the first time in some time. First NRL game of the season would be. I've even forgotten he was at the club. I like our chances against this team, though. The Cowboys have fallen away a little bit in recent weeks, conceding points again. But coming off 2 losses, albeit tight ones, and good defensive performances from the Warriors, we should be confident. You just get a little nervy. The Cowboys, looking at their recent form line, have also lost their last 2, 26-12 in Canberra. And Canberra horribly out of form, and they got a 40-14 hiding at home from the Dolphins before last week's bye. So momentum has slowed a bit. They'd won 8 of their previous 10 before those 2 losses. So sitting quite nicely on the table, but
I wish we knew a bit or done a Cowboys podcast, because right now we'd know how we travel out of a bye, but I don't have. There must be a podcast that goes, oh shit, a Cowboys podcast, nervous about this week. We're no good out of boys. But yeah, I'm a little bit, just after we've lost 2 in a row, bye in between. I'm just a little bit shell shocked at the moment. I'm a little bit nervy about this game. I'm wondering where our points come from. I think we've still got
Brad, they won. Sorry, Brad. They won both their games out of a bye last year, and they had the final round bye.
See, that's not the stats I wanted. What are you feeling, Fonz?
Yeah, what's your read on it, Fonz?
I'm still trying to work out whether I'd be inclined to play Berry or Metcalf. I mean, I think because we got 2 this game, then 1 more than the bye, haven't we? I think coming up. Yeah, so I think
Dolphins away, which is a tough one.
Yeah, I'm probably running with these guys until the bye. So Metcalf, you're playing Cup this week if I'm coach, and you're playing Cup the week after that, and then coming into that bye, I'm going to have a look at how these guys are going over that body of work before making a decision on ordering it. So that's probably what I'd do there. And the same with Berry. Berry, before I go and piss Pompey off by dropping him, show me you can do more than 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, back to that. How am I feeling about this game? Well, Cowboys, I watched them a couple of times this year. They've been bloody ordinary some of the times I've watched them. They can score some tries, but they don't scare me as a team. If we complete well, play with control, we should beat them, especially in New Zealand. So I think we can and should win this. I don't know, odds probably I'd have us $1.50 odd, something like that.
Oh yeah.
We're shorter than that, $1.33 at the bookies there, and obviously being in New Zealand, got a little bit more of an origin toll to worry about. 9.5 point start. Maybe the Cowboys might be a bit of value there based on the Warriors' performances in the past couple of weeks, but probably not too much of a surprise to see us at least warmish favourites. They were travelling pretty well initially without Tom Dearden, beat the Roosters a magic round, really gutsy, then the Rabbitohs at home, but those last 2 performances seem to be a bit more of what we've been getting from the Cowboys, leaking lots of points and just being a bit flighty. Hopefully it's the Cowboys that turn up here. But one stat that might have you a bit shaky, boys, particularly you, Brad, is the fact that in 10 we've played at 10 New Zealand venues. It includes Mount Smart. We've won our first game at just one of those venues. So obviously it's a new one New Zealand Stadium under the roof, very exciting, great facility, historic occasion, packed house, sold out in 5 days. But the only place we've won, and a real deep pull here, the only place we've won our first game at, Owen Delaney Park in Taupo. Beat the Sharks with Glenn Fishiahi on fire at fullback in 2011. But other than that, we managed to draw at the Cake Tin in Wellington, 2001 against the Bulldogs, memorable late comeback. Other than that, come up empty at every other alternate venue in New Zealand.
Shit. I don't want to be walking out of there with my bottom lip hanging out come Sunday evening. Nah, we can do them. Yeah. Fonz's lifted me up a bit. He's given me a bit more hope than your stinking stat there, I reckon. I think we're always going to be close. The defensive patterns and the work ethic is through the grades at the Warriors at the moment. So it's going to be 4 to 6 point games. Hopefully we can find some points somewhere because we'll be there or thereabouts. They're not going to split us open. We're too good of a team defensively. It's just where our points come from.
And if I'm
very good defensively last week, so
if I'm Webby, I'm probably saying to Capes and Barney, one of you is playing this Sunday, and the other one can, and that one can have the third game off, because I reckon we need one of them.
Fair shout.
I'll probably play Barney this week. I think give him a start this week, and then
how many games of football has he played this year, Barney? Like, we're at round 16 this weekend. What's he played? Half a dozen games?
Brad, you've got 2 pages of notes there that you showed me before.
I know, but this is not something I thought about asking. This is not something I thought of. This is on the fly.
Barnett's played 5 games, and only one of them was as a starting prop. So
he can lace up Sunday. He can lace up Sunday, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah,
and the magic round start was his only game since round 8. So he's barely played. He obviously played 30, 40 minutes in Origin. The New South Wales have Payne Haas starting with him, and then Adam Fanua-Blake coming off the bench. So you'd imagine Barnett's 30 minutes looking at on the weekend. I think they got Yo and Cameron Murray, Victor Adley.
He'd be up for it too. He's the type of bloke, and I don't think he shirks away from hard work. He'd be keen to play this weekend. Hopefully Webby chucks him in. Oh, it'll be interesting though. Oh, are you a little bit jealous of us, Fonz, being there live and direct in Christchurch? Yeah.
Yeah, massively. massively. Looks like a hell of a stadium too. Yeah, I'm very jealous.
Well, I was going to do. In my bit of pre-game prep weather report. I've just put, who cares? We're under a roof, boys. I'm on a boat.
Could be a howling gale. It could be pissing down. Doesn't matter.
Couldn't care less, my friend. Yeah, I'll be hugged up next to Will. Oh no, you're in the media booth. I have to hug up next to my wife then. Bugger it. Yeah. But yeah. Oh wow. What was next?
We'll be at be floating around the city. Give us a message if you want to catch up for a quiet beer or a loud one pre-game during the day or over the weekend. We might be out and about Saturday. We're staying in town, Brad, on Saturday. Fat Eddie's Warrior Nation are having their catch up from 11, I think. Geez, they're king.
Thirsty bastards.
Fat Eddie's on the strip, so we'll pop along there and hopefully.
That's
not at
hell
11.
of a Fat Eddie's on the strip. That sounds like a hell of a location.
So
if you don't know,
Oh, well, just look it up. Not as seedy as it sounds. We'll pop along there. We'll put up a post, and if you can to come and no doubt meet Brad. Everyone's keen to see if you like that in real life, Brad. So
I'll have the yellow rose.
Matthew Wood's fired up. He's getting a bit salty. Rocco pissing him off the more he thinks about it. Name's had 3 more games at centre than him already and looking hot shit. And so you name the glass man. Jeez, come off the back fence there.
That's not a fair shout, though. Joy Lenane's not even on the bench this weekend.
He's and he was last week. Rocco did have some good moments. Catch and pass for a try, scored a good Metcalf kick. Also got binned in the second half for a early tackle.
One thing I noticed, isn't he coming back from a shoulder injury?
Yes.
Did you notice the strapping on his hamstring and his black eye? Like, honestly, come on, man. This dude owes people money, I reckon.
Yeah.
So I think you did right. Joy Lenane should be there before that name. If you've been enjoying or watching any other footy, it's night and day what he's producing in front of Berry, and Berry probably there on reputation. Maybe.
And also Lenane's quite a lot more versatile.
Yeah, no, that's a fair shout. Send it in. You might get a box of salties. You should have kept that to yourself and then sent it in.
Yeah, just copy and paste that, but label it "No Ugly Salty Moment of the Week," and we'll see see if we can sort you out, bro. Matthew Wood. Yeah. What else have we got, boys? Fonz, did you want to talk about the eye test sensational fullback research?
Oh, yeah. Look, I just flicked. Yeah, I flicked it onto Will earlier. Look, I don't want to say too much about it, but the Rugby League eye test, as most listeners of this show will know, is a Rugby League analytics account on X and elsewhere at Rugby League eye test website, who does some pretty advanced stats and advanced analysis. And there we go, Will's put it up. And he put out a piece yesterday, I think it was, looking at to what extent teams play their fullback on a particular side, like how heavily they weight their fullback in attack to one side of the field. And it was striking that the Warriors are the most right dominant in terms of where the fullback plays of any team, and obviously that's Tane this year, where he almost exclusively gets the ball on the right side. And I didn't have any, I didn't particularly want to use that to prove any broader point or anything like that, but it does sort of, sometimes you think there's not a lot going on out on the left with Chanel. He doesn't have a lot of lot of attack. There's not a lot of attack happening down his channel. Well, the fullback is clearly being instructed, coached, to bob up only on that right side. Bob up outside Temare, formerly bobbing up outside Boyd on that right side. And that's been a pattern of the Warriors ever since Webby took over as coach. If you look back through the historical stats of where the fullback gets the ball since Webby took over, we've been very right heavy with our fullback, which a lot of us knew, but it's quite interesting to see what Will's put up here to see how drastic it is. Like we are far and away the most right dominant team in the comp. So I just thought that was interesting, and helps you understand the way the coach wants our system to look, and that helps you understand kind of what Chanel's role is on that left, and where the attack's going.
And it's
they're
interesting
not just the
too,
most
shades of the Penrith. Who's second? Look what Penrith do.
Yeah.
And not just the most right side dominant, but the most dominant, dominant of fullback being on a particular side by a mile of any fullback in the competition. So if you're listening to this on audio only, Tane Tuapiki gets 92.8% of his receipts on the right side. The next most by any fullback is Dylan Edwards, also on the right, 81.3%. So good company there. And then next is Kyle Weeks on the left with 78.2%. But and then everyone else sort of comes in after that. But 92.8%. That's a massive gap between him, Tane, and the next fullback favouring one side in the competition.
And we probably do have to wonder whether that does make us a bit predictable. Because even if he was only bobbing up 20 or 25%, like Dylan Edwards, about 20% bobs up on the left, 80% on the right. Even that, there's some chance he's going to turn up left. With Tate, you can pretty much set your watch. He's bobbing up on the right. that's So when you're setting your numbers as a defending team, you pretty much don't have to worry about a fullback ghosting over to the left. It's just not going to happen with the Warriors.
Ronnie Fafita's had a crack at Adam Pompey. We finally get a try assist. He has been a little quiet, I think, and just one line break. That's no good either. Scored a try in round one, a good one, but certainly needs to offer a bit more on attack. I agree. Now, Ronnie had a bit of a crack at me in the from player ratings and saying that TWL, calling us a collective, it's only me that does the Kingz Container Crew player ratings, favours Adam Pompey. Now, didn't that stick in my craw? If there's someone I favour, it's not Adam Pompey, that's for sure. So I found that a little tough to take, but I mean, he'll never play. He used to have a real shocker in him. Never quite will play bad enough to demand being dropped, I think. And given our questionable centre depth, he seems pretty safe. But I mean, my frustrations with our lack of gun centres is well documented on this podcast. And it's becoming more of a drawback with Ali Lautawa, having some patchy games too. And it's interesting to see. We're getting 10, 11 rounds towards the end of the season. We're going to be playing finals. Who should those two guys in number 3 and 4 be?
Yeah, well, that's it. Sometimes with the way Lautawa is playing at the moment, sometimes I wonder if we need one Pompey, but at the moment it seems like we've got two Pompeys out there, like a little bit toothless, looking a bit slow, a little bit ineffective. That pass, there was that, that one where Martin feigned for the drop, but he actually this time he realized it was going to get charged down. And then went away, and that cross kick from Chance, which was the most awful kick you've ever seen. But then Lautawa, the pass, was just straight at the ankles to someone out wide. I'm a little bit frustrated with the centres. Yeah. Do we need one Pompey? Maybe. Definitely not two of them out there. That another argument for Linane coming in.
Yeah, well, that try he scored New South Wales Cup was just so classy, and he's not the full package as a centre. He probably hasn't even played a lot of centre, but geez, he's just a natural and can do something out of nothing. He's hungry, gets big meters, high involvement. I know it's New South Wales Cup, and he's never played in any position at NRL level, and whether it's it's too big of a gamble. But again, it just seems an area where we're well behind the other contenders quality wise.
Yeah.
Got time for a PlaceMakers
one of those legends.
Yeah, why not?
Who you
Yeah.
got?
In honour of the game being in Ōtautahi Christchurch, we've got a Canterbury great and an all-round good guy, Warrior number 44, Shane Endicott. You know I love a utility, and this guy was one of the more versatile players to turn out for the Warriors. Son of Frank, of course, representative staff of Canterbury in the early 90s during that golden era. Went and played a bit of footy overseas in England and Hull. Came back, played for the reserve grade team that made a grand final under his old man. Debuted in 1997 under John Money, actually, but then Frank would take over midway through the season. And yeah, just a real Mr. Fix-It. He played centre and 5'8" in that 97 season. Plugged a bunch of gaps in 98 as well, mostly off the bench, but 5'8" centre, hooker. And then in 99, he stayed on after Frank was sent packing by the new ownership under Mark Graham. Played 5'8" hooker and plenty off the bench as well. Just such a reliable player. Certainly not flashy. I bet you he never had a bad game, though, and very unlucky not to make the Kiwis during some of those games when we were a bit short for position at 5'8" and hooker and bench utilities. I know he went close, very close a couple of times. 42 games for the Warriors across 3 seasons and retired super early. He was only 20, barely 28, and retired to pursue business interests. Does very well for himself down here. Then he stayed in the game coaching Papanui Tigers to a Canterbury Rugby League Premiership in 2015, that club's last one. Super nice guy. I've had the opportunity to talk to him a fair few times, and not surprising, but the apple does not fall far from the tree in the Endicott family. They're just a bunch of great people. And Shane certainly is too. But there you go. Any recollections, Brad, of Warrior number 44?
I can't remember. His jersey always looked super baggy. I remember he was one of those guys where it sort of looked to be hanging off of him a bit. But yeah, a tradesman, just get out there, do it. Wasn't flashy. I didn't realise he was there for 3 seasons or over 3 seasons. And my first question was, where did he go after us? I thought he might have done a jaunt in Super League, but that was him. Pulled up sticks, and I'll shoot back down to Canterbury. Thank you very much. Good on him. Huh.
So I'm sure all the Endicotts will be there at the game this weekend, floating about. But and it's great to see, I guess. And the Warriors are certainly making plenty of noise about it too. The group of Canterbury players that are coming through the ranks, Tanner Stowell-Smith, probably the first genuine one that came through the system to debut for the Warriors. Now Makai Tafua adding to that list. We've got plenty in New South Wales Cup and lower grades as well. Bishop Neal playing for Queensland under-19s. Actually, I didn't realise he was eligible until he was named. But
no shit.
I think it's at North Sydney on Thursday. Another step in his progression, but he's dominating at New South Wales Cup as a 17-year-old. We've got Jason Salilo, who was re-signed for another couple of years the other day. He's from down here, Papanui Tigers, I believe. And Marcio Tieti slotted into hooker, another Linwood hooker, played New South Wales Cup with Mackay, bumped up to first grade. So, plenty of Canterbury products coming through. Could see some Southern boys get a run after probably being neglected, I would say, over the Warriors' first 2 or 3 decades. But Shane Endicott, PlaceMakers Warriors Legend of the week.
Good on you, Shado.
Yeah. That'll just about do us, boys, unless you got anything else to that's you want to get out there.
No, I've got to pick up a kid from a Ranfurly Shield game. My boys down at Otago taking on North Otago, Forsyth Bar Stadium here in Dunedin. So,
those North Otago boys, any chance of lifting the shield in one of the great upsets?
I know so little about rugby that I didn't even realise Otago had the shield, and I live in Otago. So, I don't know. He's just going there to eat hot dogs and hang with his mates and throw chips at chicks, I think. So, yeah, that's me. What do you got on, Fonz? Another hour of work and then home?
I've got about 6 hours of work, I reckon. So I'm, yeah, back into
Best
it.
be off.
Yeah, best be off. But yeah, no, good chat, good yarn. I reckon we'll steady the ship with a win this week, and yeah, we'll start getting into some interesting selection decisions in the coming weeks, I suspect.
Yeah, especially after the next bye. Oh wow, thank you, gents.
Good stuff. Oh, everyone, thanks for joining us live and listening later or watching later on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, the socials. Get our numbers up. Subscribe on Substack as well, either free and plenty of content there, or get some more exclusive content as a paid subscriber as well. Hopefully we'll see some of you this weekend. Huge week. Can't wait to see you, Brad. That's
There'll be a Friday beers, won't there?
Picking you up from the airport. Yeah, we'll be doing a Friday beers, probably live from Central City. Maybe we could go to a different pub each, and then but with both separately.
I'm just confused. I told you I was going to be at a Yellow Rose at the airport. Hope that doesn't confuse people for the meetup that I said I was going to be wearing the Yellow Rose.
You're gonna use the same
Yellow Rose. But anyway, that's for behind. That's when we'll do that after the show. Anyway, evening.
Good stuff. Can't wait. Have a great week, everyone, and
see you, boys. Catch ya.
Till then, look after yourselves and each other.